Alright, wheels are back on. Let's see what we can do about this mess. Windshield washer system. So this thing has two separate systems. One of them is the regular blue washer fluid. In this case, someone put coolant in it. That's why you see green fluid dripping out of these hoses. Second one is Porsche's special silicone remover. This is like a bug spray. So completely separate system, separate pump. Two hoses. It also has headlight sprayers here. And depending on which button you push inside, it uses this fluid or the regular washer. So I see disconnected hoses here. We're not worried about the special silicone sprayer. We're just worried about the regular washer system. So when I pulled the washer switch, the regular one, we had coolant spraying out of here. So we want to reattach this hose to, you can see these plastic elbows, both of them for the pass-through going through the hood, snapped off. So we don't care about this one, and you can see there's one-way valves, so which one's which here doesn't really matter. So this goes to the right washer nozzle, so one-way valve, one-way valve. These are the two, separate systems. Then it goes to the other side as well. So we just need to attach one hose, this one right here, to one of these, whichever one's easier, doesn't matter. And the one-way valves will prevent fluid from going into the other system. Hopefully, that's my hope. So let me figure out what to do here. I think we can just stuff hoses right through these holes. We don't need these special plastic whatever elbows that snap off apparently. Should be a pretty easy fix. Alright, so simplified the whole system. The silicone sprayer, just reattached it, but it's broken inside. We're just worried about this thing. So I made it a little 1/4 inch pipe NICOP adapter, lightly flared. We're just going to stick it in here. And the other side. Now, first, I actually want to dump all the green fluid out. So let me get a gallon jug and we'll just spray it until it stops spraying, refill it with fresh blue fluid, and then plug it in there. Alright, here's my makeshift drainage system. Let's see here. If I pull the there it is, there's the green fluid. Now I don't know if that's actual washer fluid or just green coolant. I guess we can smell it. Alright, I think we're done. Almost 1.5 gallons of coolant pumped out of the windshield washer reservoir. Oh my gosh, this is insane. I'm going to prove to you that it's coolant. It's pre-diluted. Look, half the balls are floating. It's the green stuff. Why would you put coolant in your washer? I don't think it's very good for the paint. So anyways, now we can plug in the hose and fill this thing with blue fluid. Ooh, handy. Little spout. Okay, now I want to see blue fluid come out of here before we connect the hose. I don't want any coolant spraying. There we go. Okay, that should be flushed out. So disconnect this, and then connect this to here. Connect that to there. Okay. Now let's see it spray on the windshield. There we go. Sweet. Let's check for leaks. Think we're in business. All right, let's test drive these washers. The headlight washer should come on when the headlights are on. Those working? Ooh. Sweet. Oh, they still have the green stuff in them. Oh, that's amazing. So you push the lever to get sprayed with a... Wow, that thing's powerful. I'm gonna go park this thing outside and rinse it off. We don't want coolant all over the paint. Alright, we're taking the Porsche for a little spin. It's got some pull. Trip meter isn't working. Cruise control isn't working. But hey, it goes. Lights off, lights on. What's your opinion of this vintage exotic? Huh? What do you think?
It's a lot fancier than my Rogue.
It's got some features, but half of them don't work.
Yeah.
The clock doesn't work, just like in your Rogue.
It's 88 o'clock.
It's 88 minutes. Oh, it's like Back to the Future. You need to go 88 miles per hour. So, a couple more things to diagnose and repair, but it's a cool car. Alright, we're in the back seat of a Porsche 928 diagnosing this sunroof circuit. It's a little cramped back here, but we have good access to the wires. I pulled the switch up for the sunroof. Let's see what's going on with this thing. So, first thing, I want to just manually, from the battery, I have a wire coming here, fused power and ground. Let's just see what happens to the motor when we manually energize this thing. So just power and ground. Okay, it doesn't want to go this way. Let's try the other way. Okay, the sunroof is opening just fine. Okay, let's go back. It's a little sluggish, but it works. And open it up. Okay. Now, let's reconnect it to the original switch. See what happens when we push the buttons here. So, open. Nothing happens. Close. Oh, we should turn the accessory on. So open. Nothing happens. Oh, close. Okay, it's sluggish. So it looks like the open circuit is not working. And close is okay. So this should be a pretty simple switch here. We have power, ground, and then the two control wires. And the switch just toggles the power and ground to either wire. Even with a test light, we can determine, the only thing could be here, if the roof moves one way, we know the switch is capable of at least toggling power and ground to one pair of contacts, and the current's making it all the way through the motor, all the way back through the switch, so it's a closed circuit. But the other way, it doesn't work. So the only thing could be here is the switch itself. You guys follow the logic? No other checks necessary. We got to tear that switch apart. Hopefully these old switches, they're serviceable. Like they'll have little contact points in there. Clean them up. This thing just might work as almost as good as new. Alright, here we go. So turn the key off. We don't need any power right now. And I believe this little button should just gently pop off. Okay. And we have our two little spring-loaded contacts here that ride on these little plates, and it pushes one way, we'll have ground to one circuit and power to the other, and then it can reverse the other way. So one way is not working, so what I'm going to do is just take out these little plates and clean up. Yeah, you can see how charred and pitted those points are. So let me just clean up all the contacts in here. We'll put it back together and we'll see if the sunroof works. Alright, so pretty basic strategy here to clean these contacts. I'm just using a pick and just rubbing up all the black crap. And once we do that, we'll spray the whole thing with some Diagnostics. So there's just these two that were pretty dirty. These ones are okay. These ones are okay. And the little contact strips, I already hit that one with the bench grinder. Let's clean up that little point, put it all back together. Alright, spray this with a little Diagnostics and put in our contacts. So that one will go here. This one will go here. Make sure it rocks nicely. Put our our switch without losing any of the springs. Okay. Okay, let's reconnect the motor. It's reconnected. Turn on our switch. See, close. Open. Yes. Sweet. Love it. No parts required again. Where's my ammeter? Let me put a current clamp on here. Make sure we're not drawing too many amps. Alright, let's watch the ammeter. So I'm going to close it. About 12 amps. And open. About 11 amps. Okay. It does sound a little lazy. Maybe some lube on the sliders. It's a lot easier to go back. Max is out 15. Okay. You can't even stand up through this thing. So sunroof is basically fixed. After a little WD-40 action, I think it's very acceptable. Closes all the way. Yep. Perfect. Well, next customer complaint is the dome lights on the tailgate. So they wouldn't turn on in the door position because this little contact right here, there's like a little detent ball, was just not quite touching the that terminal, just because it's old. But now it's fine. So all these lights are the same construction. You can see if I depress this, both lights on the trunk now operate perfectly. So let's put everything back together, and we're getting close.